this is a question in here. I can just read it to you. Are you open to truth, God, morality, and even evil? You often refer to the latter as a myth, perhaps being objectively real, as those terms could be defined within reality.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
Everything needs definition and language,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yep, I do.
And you think of it one way. You think of those words one way. Are you open to it being different than what you believe now?
So there are different ways in which something can be real or true. And the most common, so there's a very helpful distinction from the philosopher David Wiggins between anthropocentric truths, which are true only because of the kind of creatures we are, and non-anthropocentric truths. So if I say strawberries are sweet, is that a fact? Yeah, it is a fact, but it's only a fact because of the kind of taste receptors we have in our tongues. And if aliens come here from another planet and we say, here, try these strawberries. I mean, try it with your dog. Here, dog, have a strawberry. And no, they don't want it. So strawberries are sweet is a true fact, but it's an anthropocentric fact. Earth is the third planet from the sun. Is that only because we think it is? No. If aliens come here from another solar system, they'll find Earth is the third planet from the sun. That is a non-anthropocentric fact. The natural sciences are concerned almost entirely with non-anthropocentric facts. The social sciences are concerned very largely with anthropocentric facts. So are anthropocentric facts real? Are they real? Is it true? And the way that I think about it, because thinking about morality, there are some things that you can say that are morally true. An example I use is women should have equal political rights. They should have the vote. They should be just like men. And that's obviously true today. But does that mean that our ancestors were wrong for hundreds of thousands of years? There was a division of labor. The household was the unit. The man did the warfare and politics. The woman did, that's the way it always was. The way I think about these things is that there's a whole category of truths called emergent truths. They come out of the way we interact. So if I say to you, gold is more valuable than silver, that's just a fact. You just have to admit, Doug, gold is more valuable than silver. Now, if aliens come here from another planet, are they going to agree? Well, if they look at the price list, but that's all based on supply and demand. So as we interact in a market with supply and demand, prices emerge. Those prices are real, but they're emergent. They're not facts of the universe like, hydrogen has one proton. And I think that women should have equal political rights is one of those kinds of facts. It wasn't a fact when humans had no material prosperity and a gender division of labor. But now that we have all these labor-saving devices, people can live the lives they want. Of course it's a fact. It would be brutal and horrible and wrong and immoral to have a country now in which women didn't have the vote. So I'm very open to moral concepts like that. Now you asked about God and religion. That God is a different question. I early on, because I was a science kid and I identified with science, and I read the Bible. I read the Hebrew Bible in college, and I thought it had a lot of really bad stuff in it that I couldn't endorse. So I just rejected it all. And I was on track to be a new atheist, like I would have been, like Sam Harris and Richard Dawkins, very critical of religion. But because I began studying morality and where it came from, and it is deeply tied to our religiosity, our sacredness, our desire for community. So I developed a much more positive view of religion, which makes me more open to all of it. All I'll say, while I don't believe there's a God, but even Richard Dawkins says, on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is absolute certainty that there's no God. No, let's say 10 is certainty there's a God, 0 is certainty that there's no God. He says that nobody should be at either extreme, and he himself is at a 1 or a 2. He's not a 0. So I would be like that, although probably more open than Dawkins. What I would say, the thought I had recently, I saw a documentary about the new James Webb Telescope and what it can see. And you look into a patch of sky patch of sky the size of a tenth the size of the moon. You look into it, and what do you see? Billions of galaxies, billions. Just the vastness of it is such that it can't fit in our minds. And so do we understand the world well enough to say there is no intelligence anywhere that had a? No, we don't. Like, could there be multiple universes? Could there be an infinite number? Like, these things so boggle the mind that I'm very willing to believe that reality could be not anything like what we think it is. I'm open to that.